Good evening, everybody. This is Jane here, and I am so excited about this evening. I've been looking forward to this presentation, this chat from the incredible Steve Hatchett for literally the last 3 or 4 weeks when I first started engaging with him. And he said that he would be only too happy to come and chat to everybody about a healthy gut and a healthy immune system. I would like to just take a few moments to maybe share with you a little bit about Steve's background, how I come to know him, and why he is so current and his information is so current in this world that we live in today. Steve spent the last 28 years working in the field of nutrition, and he has also been Vice President of Product Innovation and Manufacturing for Forever. And he had a very happy period working with Forever. And he was also responsible for product ideation, education, supply, quality, regulatory, manufacturing, distribution, and the vertical integration. But that all sounds very sort of high-powered. One of the things that I love about Steve is that he has worked with and still does to this very day. In fact, he's just been talking to myself and Diana about 12 very eminent doctors he's working with at the moment on some very exciting DNA, I think it's DNA, whatever. It's all over my head, but very exciting stuff going forward. But Steve has worked globally with doctors, scientists, chemists, herbalists, naturopaths, and even Nobel laureates in the formulation and the commercializing of products in the nutritional sector. And I met Steve over 10 years ago now. And I must admit, the very first time I met him, he was doing a presentation to a group of Forever business owners. And I was deeply impressed with his quiet integrity and his passion and his knowledge and his delivery of information. You know, very often somebody is so qualified as Steve is, when they speak to the laymen and women, which is all of us, very often things are so complicated we don't understand what they're talking about. But Steve's passion and knowledge for nutrition literally comes out of every pore of his body when he begins to talk about it. I think he's one of the most engaging speakers that I've ever had the privilege of listening to within the world of nutrition. And I truly know from the bottom of my heart that all of you are in for an amazing treat tonight. So I'm not going to steal the show. All I'm going to say is get your pens and papers out, make sure you've got your notebooks, make sure you've got your highlighters ready, turn off all your devices, don't have any distractions, because the next 30, 35 minutes, 40 minutes are going to be absolutely filled with some incredible information that is so relevant in the world that we live in today. So Steve, if you could just join me for a moment before I hand over to you completely. Hi, it's such an honor to have you give your time so freely to us today. And I just want you to know that we all appreciate that. We know how very busy you are, and all the projects that you're working on at the moment are very time consuming. So for you to work on this presentation and to share your time today, we truly value your input. So without any further ado, I'm going to hand over to you, and I've got my pen and paper ready, and I can't wait to learn from the best.
Oh, thanks, Jane. And what a privilege to be with you. It was quite easy to tell 12 doctors who were talking about RNA and DNA sequencing to put a hold on it, because I have some more important things to do. So for me, this is the most important thing I'll do all day, all week. What a privilege to be with you, Jane. Thank you so much for that kind opening and welcome. I hope I live up to everything that you've said. One of my passions in life, although I love science and understanding how the body works and chemistry, but more importantly, I love people, and I love the connection that I have with people, and that's what we're doing it for, right? Is to live happier, healthier lives, be more, do more, and be with our kids. And so I really appreciate the opportunity to be with you tonight.
Well, I know for a fact that the information you're going to share tonight will make a massive difference. Mary Louisa is on the call tonight. I can see her. And you'll remember fun times with Mary Louisa when we had that amazing evening together after the big event that you and myself and her and thousands of Forever business owners in Italy attended. Anyway, I'm going to opt out. I'm going to hand over to you and enjoy. And thank you very much.
Thanks, Jane. Wonderful. Well, it's wonderful to be with all of you, and what a pleasure to be able to connect with you, at least via the computer. It's a unique time in our lives. Obviously, a lot going on in the world, a lot of challenges, a lot of issues, and so I'm thrilled to have the opportunity to just talk to you a couple of minutes about what's going on in our bodies, what's important. What is critical for us to know, and perhaps maybe give you a couple of tips and ideas on how to maximize the benefits of the Forever products in our lives. And so, quite honestly, there's nothing more important to me than having a good quality of life, and that way I can be a better father, better husband, better soon-to-be grandfather. It's let's see, November. Is when my grandbaby is going to be here. So excited for that, my daughter. But quite honestly, it all is possible because of the opportunity we have to learn about what goes inside of our bodies and how we can make sure that the foods we eat, the supplements we take, the exercise that we do on a daily basis, how we treat our bodies is likely a large result of what we end up getting out of life, energy-wise and psychologically, physically, emotionally. It's really a game of what do we put in versus what are we going to get out. So with that said, I have a couple of slides I'm going to share with you today and talking to you about, essentially what it is all about from a nutritional standpoint. And hopefully it's beneficial, and I look forward to sharing the details of all this with you. So a couple of ground rules at the very beginning. I want to make sure it's very clear that you understand these statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. They're not any of these products that we've put out. And of course, you know this, but this disclaimer is so important because Forever is all about integrity and have high quality, high standards. And whenever I have, as I'm wearing my Forever shirt today and I'm here with Jane and the Forever team, I want to make sure and respect Rex and Greg and the team because they have such a high standard. And so we never want to make claims in Forever. We never want to overstate something. So none of the products or anything I'm saying here today is intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. In addition to that, as you know, food supplements should not be used as a substitute for a varied and balanced diet and healthy lifestyle. And we do not want to exceed the stated recommended daily dose that's on the supplement labels. So in addition to that, last disclaimer, and then we'll get on to it. The contents of this presentation are for educational purposes and not intended to offer medical advice. I'm not a medical doctor. I don't profess to be one. I just love nutrition. I've been doing it for a long time, and I've worked with some of the best and brightest. But I'm not trying to give you medical advice today. You should seek advice from your physician or other qualified health provider. If you have any questions regarding your health or medical conditions, never disregard professional medical advice or delay in seeking it because of the contents of what we're going to talk about today. So now that I have disclaimers out of the way, I'll get right into the meat of it, which is immunity. And we're going to talk a little bit about how our immune system works and what it's all about. Essentially, the flu season is when people start thinking about immunity, but the reality is we're being bombarded every single day with bacteria and challenges. And so people sometimes will seek special foods or vitamin supplements for a moment. But the reality is we have to keep our immune system fortified every single day. The design of our immune system is actually quite complex, and it's influenced by an ideal balance of many factors. It's not just diet, and it's not any one specific food or one specific nutrient, but a balance of all of these things in combination with a healthy lifestyle factor like sleep and exercise, and of course, stress. And I'm sure because, Jane, all of your friends all the wonderful FBOs around the world, there's no stress among any of them, I'm assuming. So that's probably not the issue, but you got to think about sleep and exercise and those types of things as well. But they basically, those are the fundamentals. The healthy lifestyle, along with foods and nutrients, are the most effective primes that will help the body to fight infection and potentially onset of disease. So, but the reality is, a lot of people say, well, what is our immune system? Our immune system is basically made of 3 layers or levels, if you will. There's a barrier, an innate, and adaptive level. Now, what affects our immune system? Well, there's several different things. Microbes from foods, food particles, the environment, chemicals, and occasionally stress, depending on how hard we go. And many times, people who work out can overexercise. Too much of any one thing can be stressful and problematic. You know, as we get older, our internal organs may become less efficient. And so our immune-related organs, such as the thymus or the bone marrow, produce less immune cells, and they're needed to fight off infections. And so we don't have as many of those immune cells to be able to utilize. Aging is sometimes, associated with micronutrient deficiencies, which can worsen and declining of immune function. Environmental toxins such as smoke and other particles contributing to air pollution, excessive alcohol, these types of things can impair or suppress the normal activity of immune cells. Excessive weight, obesity is a real challenge, along with several other things such as poor diet. Malnutrition or diet lacking in one or more nutrients can impair the production and activity of immune cells and antibodies. A lot of people don't understand the relationship of nutrition and how important it is. Especially when you think about how much our foods are processed. Now, I saw Jane's garden in her Facebook post the other day, and I was commenting on it. I mean, she looks fantastic. So I think, Jane, you're doing great from not having to worry about processed foods. But love your garden. But unfortunately, many of the world, people in the world, they're eating too many processed foods, and that can negatively impact your immune system. Also, the refined sugars, red meats, and the consumption of very minimal amounts of fruits and vegetables can promote disturbances in the healthy intestinal microorganisms that can result in, for instance, chronic inflammation in the gut and suppressed immunity. So thinking about that, it can really impact us. Now, again, I'm not speaking to anyone here, but just so you know, there are many people who are going through mental stress. I mean, this is a very difficult time. And to be quite candid with you, most people are going through stress right now. We're in a state of, we can't control what's going on around us completely. And that really frustrates us, and it creates stress. Whether we know it or not, we're feeling it. And stress releases hormones like cortisol that suppresses inflammation, and inflammation is initially needed to activate the immune cells. A lot of people think of inflammation as bad, but there is a certain level of inflammation you need in your body to activate the immune cells. And the action of those white blood cells too. So that stress is really a challenge, and that cortisol is really a challenge. And so this stress that we're dealing with on a daily basis and not being able to be in control of our lives completely, it's really impacting us, and that can compromise our immune system. Impact of sleep. If you're not getting sleep, sleep is a time of restoration for the body. And it provides us the time where there's a cytokine is released and it fights infections. And so too little sleep lowers the amount of these cytokines and other immune cells. So you can see all of these things are building up inside of our bodies. And so the reality is that we have 2 really key systems that are focused on helping us kind of put our lines of defense from these pathogens and these microbes and these challenges. First is the innate immunity. And, it's basically your first line of defense from pathogens that try to enter our bodies. They're achieved through protective barriers, and these barriers include the skin that keeps our majority of the pathogens, as well as mucus that actually traps pathogens, stomach acid that destroys pathogens, and enzymes in our sweat and tears that help create antibacterial compounds. So the immune system itself has immune system cells that attack all foreign cells entering the body. So that's our first line of defense. And we've got to make sure that those immune cells and all of the functioning first line of defense in our innate immunity is fortified, supported. And if it's fighting a lot of challenging environments where we're eating the wrong things or we're putting it through unnecessary stress and so forth, then it's going to be overwhelmed. And it's going to create an opportunity for pathogens to wreak havoc inside of our bodies. Our second layer is the adaptive or acquired immunity, which is a system that learns to recognize a pathogen. So once the pathogen goes in, it says, I see who you are, and you're a bad guy, and I'm going to get you out of the system. And so once it figures that out, it regulates the cells and organs in the bodies. And so you have the spleen, the thymus, the bone marrow, and the lymph nodes and so forth. And I won't geek out too much on the science side, but when a foreign substance enters the body, these cells and organs create antibodies and lead to multiplication of immune cells, which really help us so that they're, basically attack these harmful substances and destroy them. Our immune system's really smart too, because once it's attacked it remembers it. And it says, this is a foreign substance. And if it enters again, these antibodies and cells are even more efficient, and they'll just go after it and destroy it again. So it's really, really important that we continue to support our immune system. And how do we do that? Well, it relies predominantly on the presence of many nutrients. Now, Holly Stout gave an amazing presentation on the benefits of aloe. And this is where it gets kind of fun for you. You're part of a company that is truly different than any other company on the planet, because it has been focusing for many years, over 40 years, on helping you get a foundation of health through your GI system. And the microbiome is key. I don't know if you guys are familiar, but I'll give you a quick summary on this real fast. The microbiome is this metropolis of trillions of microorganisms or microbes that live inside of our bodies. And they're mostly in our intestines, but they're in other places too. And it's basically the area where they're finding the microbiome plays the key role in immune function. And it's the major site of immune activity and production of antimicrobial proteins. So what happens inside of our gut really makes a huge difference. So as we look at today, I believe it's in America, we call it the Global Hand Washing Day. So you get your aloe hand soap out. They call us Americans crazy because we have some really unique holidays, but it's a good idea to wash your hands. Talking about different ways to boost your immune system besides supplements, you can obviously get more sleep, exercise, eat well, lots of fresh vegetables and fruits. Make sure you wash your hands thoroughly, 20 to 30 seconds. They say up to 8 times a day, or anytime you go outside or you're changing from one to another. And avoid stress where possible. Don't add it onto your diet and create problems. So those are things that can boost your immune system and really help support you. So please be thinking about that. But our diet plays a large role in determining what kind of microbes live in our intestines. And so a high fiber diet that's rich and plentiful in fruits and vegetables and whole grains and legumes support the growth and maintenance of beneficial microbes. So aloe is an amazing aspect of this, because aloe helps create in my research has found that helps create a healthy microbiome. Okay. Because if you have a healthy microbiome, you can see the types of benefits that happen with a healthy microbiome. It strengthens the immune system, improves digestion and intestinal motility. It normalizes levels of cholesterol. The digestion of carbohydrates and proteins are much more efficient. The regulation and absorption of minerals and gases and water, all these types of things, it really is critical for our system to be healthy. How do we support a healthy microbiome? Now, most of you who know me know this is what I talk about all the time. And this is what I believe, because if you get your microbiome right and you get it healthy, then everything else becomes more effective. Well, the number one item that I take every single day, there's no question about it, is aloe. And people ask me all the time, why aloe? What is so great about aloe? Because I'm talking to all these doctors, scientists, older, and most of them think, well, aloe, you know, put it on the skin after, you know, a cut or something like that. I don't understand the benefits of aloe, and they don't, but it's these unique polysaccharides that are inside that actually support the immune system. And there's these aloe oligosaccharides, what we call them, but these oligosaccharides that are prebiotics. And these fibers, these prebiotics feed the good beneficial bacteria inside of your gut. So if you want a better, healthier microbiome, you want to feed it what it wants to be fed. And aloe is one of the greatest things you can feed your gut to have a healthy microbiome. So feed that healthy gut with prebiotics such as aloe vera gel. And you look at the benefits that are inside of aloe vera gel. It talks about maintaining energy levels and supports healthy digestion, all those types of things. Those are all wonderful parts of it, but there's over 300 different types of compounds that are happening inside that are beneficial to your gut. So we want to line the gut. And many of you have heard my discussion about getting this range. Dr. Balch used to talk about this 80-20 ratio. You want 80% of your gut to have the good, healthy bacteria, and 20% of it is the other bacteria. And some of it, you know, you're going to have some challenges, just normal life. But the reality is that we're just the opposite. In many cases, we only have 20% good, healthy bacteria. And then we have, unfortunately, most of it is yeast and bad bacteria. And that's why people have gut aches. That's why people have trouble with intestinal issues. That's why they are constipated or have lots of challenges there. And that's the biggest issue in terms of absorption nutrition. Holly's taught you, and you already know, that aloe vera makes everything better after you drink it, because it has the ability to help our body to absorb the nutrients that we need on a daily basis. It really does, because what it does is, if you want to create a healthy environment where you're getting maximum nutrient absorption, it starts in the gut. The majority of the nutrients that are being absorbed are happening in the small intestine, your duodenum, okay? And so you want the duodenum to have a nice, healthy bacteria, plentiful bacteria in there. Well, how do you get good bacteria in there? Number one is feed it good food, which is aloe. Aloe is wonderful. In combination with that, you want to feed it good bacteria itself. Forever Active Pro B does exactly that. It helps give your body natural probiotics that will continue to feed in and proliferate inside of your gut. So the combination between giving Forever Active Pro B and, in addition to the aloe, is the best combination you could possibly do to open up the opportunity for your body to absorb the rest of the nutrition. Now, why is this so important? Because most companies miss this completely. They just give you a supplement for immune, or they give you a supplement for a vitamin, or they give you all these different supplements. I talk to doctors all the time, and even the foods that you consume. The benefits of the absorption of those nutrients go down directly proportional to the probiotics that are in your gut. How healthy is your microbiome? If your microbiome is weak, then the absorption rates are minimized. If it's strong, then it's increased. So why would you want to put products inside of your body or consume foods that you're only getting 20, 30% of the nutrients? Why not expand the natural healthy bacteria in your gut with Forever Active Pro B, and then also give that active bacteria the great beneficial oligosaccharides or the prebiotics? Now, on the right here, I have just a handful. I mean, you're going to see this throughout. Everything I've done on each one of these slides has been researched and has studies behind it. Now, there's studies behind the actives and the raw ingredients. They don't necessarily relate always to the product. Some have relationships to the product, but many of these are just talking about the benefits of nutrition and the science. I mean, if I put all the studies on there, I've done this on a couple of slides before, and it just goes and goes and goes and goes. There's hundreds of thousands of studies that have been done to validate the ingredients that are in the products that we take. But if we really want the best nutrient absorption possible, if we really want to make a difference in ourselves from an immune standpoint, and to make sure that we're maximizing our body's immune system, it starts in the gut. It absolutely starts in the gut. So take your aloe, take your Forever Active Pro B. That's your starting point, okay? maximize nutrient absorption. Now that you've got your gut ready to receive the nutrition, now you're ready for additional products that can be really beneficial. So a product such as Forever Emu Blend. I love this product. When I was involved with the formulation of this product, which I, again, it's kind of fun. This is a product that I worked with my team at Forever to create. There are so many key ingredients in this product, and I don't want to take all the time talking about it, but I don't know if you guys know, but FOS is fructooligosaccharides. It's a base of FOS that we put in there. Why? Because they're oligosaccharides, and guess what? That's right, they're prebiotics. So you have that in combination with the aloe, and you're feeding your healthy gut, again, more FOS and more prebiotics. Zinc. There are so many studies regarding zinc and the benefits of zinc inside the body. It's an essential mineral. I want to say that again. Zinc is an essential mineral for immune system function. Okay. So if you're having challenge with your, there's typically a challenge with your consumption of zinc. Now you can get zinc in your diet, certainly. So I don't want to pretend like there's only one place to get it. You can get it from the foods you eat, but a lot of times we don't know exactly how much we're getting in the foods that we're eating. So having it in a product like Forever Emu Blend guarantees that you're getting zinc on your daily basis. Lactoferrin, maitake and shiitake mushrooms, and so forth. These are so important, so important for the ability to improve the overall immune defense reaction. Okay, what they found is the glucans from fungi, specifically the shiitake and the maitake mushrooms, what they do is they strongly stimulate the immune defense reaction. So they present themselves as foreign bodies and elicit a reaction. So it kind of like gets the body to respond to it. And it shows an immune stimulation, which is really powerful. And so glucans, which are the active constituents inside these mushrooms, the shiitake and maitake, are naturally produced by bacteria, yeast, and can, for that reason, they're used for priming this immune system for significant pathological threats. So the benefits that are here is that it kind of wakes up your immune system and says, hey, we want to start taking care of business. What's going on? But it also has an adaptogenic benefit, so it doesn't overstimulate your immune system. It keeps you at a nice level, so your system is always switched on. It's not down, it's not out. So you're consistently on an ongoing basis, keeping your body primed and ready. So that's really important. You'll also find beta-glucans, and we'll be talking about this in Absorbent C. So the oat bran and Absorbent C, beta-glucans are in there as well. So really good benefit for priming the immune system. And then vitamin D3. I mean, vitamin D3 for me is one of my favorite vitamins. It's so important, especially people who are indoors so much nowadays. And so it's a fat-soluble vitamin, and it's a powerful antioxidant and an immune modulator. It has so much benefits because it resembles cytokines and its interaction with the cell surface receptors. And so what happens is it basically, it's the benefit of vitamin D is it goes in and it creates an environment where it supports your immune system to be able to maximize its effectiveness on doing its job on a daily basis. The problem is a lot of times we're short on vitamin D because we're not getting it always in our foods, and we get it majority from sunlight, which unfortunately we're not out as often as we used to be. A lot of times we're inside, so we're not getting that natural vitamin D from the sun. What's interesting though, in addition to that, is guess what we put on when we do go out in the sun, right? We put sunscreen on, which is great because we don't want some of the negative impacts of the sun, but it also mitigates the benefits of getting vitamin D and converting that inside the body. So in my personal opinion, I take vitamin D every single day. It's such an important piece for me and to support the immune system. So here's just a little bit of the research behind the ingredients behind Forever Emu Blend. These are all studies that have been done on the ingredients that support immunity that's in Emu Blend, but the focus is here. It supports and strengthens the immune system. It is a full body approach to immune health, and it promotes immune cell protection and production. and strengthens those immune cells. So it's going in there and it's fueling and supporting your immune cells. Now, I want to clarify my original statement. I am not saying that if you take this product, you will not get sick or you will not have problems. I want to make sure that's absolutely not the case. I'm simply saying that these ingredients that are in Forever Emu Blend can benefit and may support your immune system to operate properly and to be as effective as it possibly can on being those lines of defenses against a lot of the challenges that we're coming up against on a daily basis. So hopefully that's clear, but it's just the information and the research is just astounding on what's out there about the benefits of Forever Emu Blend's ingredients. Now, a lot of people don't recognize the value of propolis. Propolis is amazing. It is, in fact, I would love to do just a presentation one day on just the power of propolis because it's so amazing. But the bees have used this to build their hives for years. It's just nature's way of creating, if you will, this clean room environment in the middle of nature. So it shows that it has the benefits to, fight against bacteria, fungus, even viruses and so forth. But the bees basically use this propolis and they put it through all the little nooks and crannies of their hive to make sure that it eliminates the potential for foreigners to come in. And the propolis obviously is the city, as they say. And so it's actually guarding the city, if you will, that wonderful hive. So it's protecting the hive from bacteria and unhealthy agents. The same is true for us. There is tons of things happening inside of our body. And so to be able to have something that can help us fight that off and be supportive of combating if you will, bacteria and fungus and viruses. It works for the bees and it certainly has benefits. You can see there's studies that support the body's immune defense for propolis. It also creates these wonderful nutrient compounds. It's really quite interesting. When I look at propolis, it has 600 natural constituents in it. And these are immune modulating benefits that are centered on flavonoids. So flavonoids are where your active compounds, where beta glucans were before, and the mushrooms, the flavonoids are what's really helping the propolis. And what flavonoids typically do and what functions properly in bee propolis is it helps enhance the function of the immune cells so that it can support the immune cell to do its job to the best of its ability. And so it really is powerful. We see this in royal jelly too. It has some immune enhancing properties as well, but and we have some royal jelly in it as well as honey and bee propolis. But the combination of the bee propolis with Emu Blend is just fantastic because they go after it in different ways, and but they still have the same outcome, which is providing flavonoids and beta glucans to be able to go in and support and enhance the function of immune cells. That's where their goals are supposed to be. So really, really wonderful product. Talked a little bit about absorbent C and the powerful antioxidants, water soluble. So people sometimes say, well, water soluble, fat soluble, what's the difference? So water soluble flushes through your system fairly quickly. It's within 6 to 8 hours. It's flushed and it's through your system, and it's utilized or not utilized. B vitamins are a good example of water soluble, and C. Whereas D and vitamin E and vitamin A, those are fat soluble. So they'll actually get stored inside of your body for a little bit. So vitamin C is a very powerful antioxidant. It contributes to white blood cell production. So white blood cell, as you know, is one of the most efficient ways in helping you with recovery and attacking some of these foreign bacteria that come into our bodies, right? So there's tons of information about them, but there's the natural vitamin C that's in there, as well as the oat bran that we talked about. That's the beta glucans that help support the immune function and assist the body's absorption of the vitamin C. So what a lot of people don't recognize is that, people say, well, I can just take a vitamin C supplement. You can, but the genius of what Rex and the scientists at Forever Living have done is there are cofactors. When you're consuming products, there's cofactors, individual ingredients that together work better and are more homogeneous and help with absorption levels. And so, for instance, oat bran in combination with vitamin C improves the absorption of vitamin C. And so a lot of people don't recognize that. They say, oh yeah, I take a vitamin C supplement. You might take a vitamin C supplement, but you're not getting the benefits like you would if you were taking it in combination with the oat bran. And that's why absorbency is so powerful and provides that beneficial immune function. So again, lots of studies that show the benefits of these products. It's just, absorbency is just a fantastic product. Hopefully you're taking it. It's delicious for that matter. And anyways, easy to consume. We can't forget about the kids, right? We cannot forget about the kids. Essentially, if we look at what needs to happen inside of our bodies, there are so many Harvard, big university here in the States, they've done a ton of research on this, and they found that deficiencies of single ingredient nutrients can actually alter the body's immune response. And there's been some animal studies that have found that deficiencies in zinc and selenium and iron and copper and folic acid, vitamins A, B6, C, D, and E, these can alter the immune response. And so these nutrients are key in helping the immune system in multiple different ways, working as an antioxidant to protect the healthy cells and supporting growth and activity of immune cells. A lot of people don't realize that. And so you know that there's epidemiological studies that show that those who have poor nutrition are at greater risk of bacterial infections and so forth. And those who are not getting the daily nutrition in their diet. A lot of times I've talked to parents who struggle, as I did, of getting my kids to eat healthy. They just didn't want it. It didn't taste good. If it was a vegetable, for whatever reason, it just didn't taste right. And so they minimize the ability to get some of these essential nutrients inside their bodies that really helps the immune system and its ability to respond. So the wonderful thing about kids is it's delicious, and it provides a wonderful blend of all these critical nutrients that are needed to support the natural immune system inside the body. So it's really good. Plus, it has these wonderful complex of all these phytonutrients, such as broccoli, spinach, carrots, beets, and so forth. So there's an opportunity to really help the body fully support it and be able to fight off some of these bacterias and challenges that they come into contact every single day. I mean, when you watch our kids, it's just literally amazing, isn't it? When they go into a sandbox with all these other kids, you have no idea who stepped where, who did what where, as they would say. You just don't know really where that sand's been. And they've got their hands in it, and they put it in their mouth, and then they, it's just amazing. Our bodies are unbelievably resilient, but it could use a little help and support of what it needs on a nutrient level. And so Forever Kids is a great way to do that. Just to give you just a little bit of, I literally ran off of, it was over 200 studies that were done on the ingredients inside of Forever Kids that talk about the benefits for immune health and the benefits that are there. So do they help? Yeah, it's a huge benefit, always supporting the body to help them fight off bacteria and infection. So the reality is, hopefully you've got some good concept of what the immune system is, the layers that we have, and what is so important about Forever and how that can support the immune system. And it starts with aloe vera gel. It absolutely starts with aloe vera gel. And then the Forever Pro B. And then as you look at some of the other supplements that I've discussed today, I don't want to mess with garlic and thyme, and there's several other ingredients that are out there that are wonderful and so forth. I don't have enough time for everything, but I wanted to really hit this one home. And I just want to let you know a couple of really important things. As FBOs, there is something that you need to know if you don't already know this. And these are maybe for the new people, and maybe those who already have heard this before, maybe need to hear it again. But Forever does things different. There is a Forever standard that is unique to Forever. They were the very first certified for aloe, very first by the AOC. They were the first to come out with a lot of these products that you see out there in the marketplace. And they were the first to really promote aloe vera gel in a way that can be consumed as a tonic. Their certifications are across the board: NSF, halal, all the certifications that are required. It's incredible what they've done, but they usually do it before anyone else. They're focused on sustainability and figuring out ways to give back to the earth and make sure that all the packaging they use and the ingredients they use are sustainable and support sustainable efforts on a significant basis. They've vertically integrated, so they control the entire manufacturing. They know from start to finish every single product, every single ingredient. They do testing. I've done a whole bunch of presentations on this. So in the lab, you know whether it's a forever product or not, a forever ingredient or not. It has to meet a very rigorous standard. Rex and the team have put together just an unbelievable standard. And I can't tell you how many times as I was in the lab at Forever, we would reject product after product after product because it would not meet Forever's quality standards, and we'd have to reject it and send it back to the vendor. But what Rex has done is he's actually said, forget it. I'm going to grow my own aloe. He's got his own fields. I've got my own manufacturing facility so I can control the processes and I can get exactly what I say is on the label direct to you. So he vertically integrated the entire operation. Every single formula Forever has is proprietary. When people say they can go get it off the shelf, they can't. These are proprietary formulations. There's proprietary processes that are used in each one of these that are unique, specific to Forever, and provide the benefits that only Forever can provide. The experience and integrity is just second to none, quite honestly. It's incredible. The history since 1978 and the work that's been done year after year, all these medical experts and scientists back in the late 70s and early 80s, oh, Rex, you're just selling a bunch of aloe. I don't know the benefit, and you're just trying to make some money. Now all those scientists are humbly saying, oh, would you look at the over 200,000 studies that validate what Rex said back in 1978, 1979, 1980, 1981, 1982. You look at all the different products, over 200,000 clinical studies from all over the world that validate what Rex has said. And now doctors, what you hear is them saying, have you heard the benefits of aloe? Have you heard the benefits of propolis? Have you heard the benefits of mushrooms and how they can beta glucans and how that impacts our bodies and the benefits? And we think you should consider them. Well, Rex did consider them a long time. Great integrity, great experience, scientifically validated across the board. As you know, anywhere from 150 to 350 tests are done before it ever gets to a consumer to make sure that it meets the high quality standard. And there's no greater vision. I mean, you look at the vision of both Rex and Greg, you can't find two individuals and the entire Forever team, Aiden, the whole group, Gary, Garen, Holly, Navaz, RJ. I mean, the list goes on and on, but it starts with Rex, and his vision is second to none. It's just, he wanted to help people, and the natural outcome of helping people was obviously a great, successful business. Because if you help enough other people get what they want out of life, you'll get what you want out of life. And that's obviously a Zig Ziglar statement that I believe is 100% true. It is just wonderful. And I agree with Rex 100% in his statement here. Owning your own business is less about making a living and more about making a life. It's about choosing your path and living the way that you deserve. And, there's a lot of people out there who are negative. There's a lot of people who are cynical. There's a lot of people who are struggling physically, mentally. They're emotionally strained. They're going through a very difficult time. You have what they need. You have the products, you have the opportunity, you have the ability to share with them how to have a better life, how they can do more, be more. You can get up in the morning and be excited about what you do, because there's so many people who get up and they're not excited about what they do. They're frustrated with what they do. And then they take it out on everybody around them. And there's enough negative people in the world, but when you want to find somebody who is really going to help build you, then you got to look to somebody like Jane and John. Phew. The reason I'm on this call today, the reason I took the time because life is short, and you want to surround yourself with people who are going to lift you higher. And that's who John and Jane are. I don't know two finer people on the face of the planet. I really don't. I just don't. They are the best. And when Jane asked me to come, I said, you bet. Because I'll stop anything to help her and John, as they are on a mission to help people live happier, healthier, wealthier lives. And they are committed, and they'll do whatever it takes to make it happen, as long as those individuals remain committed to doing what it takes. And they are the example of the power of forever is the power of love. There's nobody that exudes that more than Jane and John. Love them. Love the opportunity to be here with you. Hopefully you've learned a couple things. Hopefully it's been beneficial. I hope you stay safe. I filled you with a lot of information, and I really do want to thank Jane for giving me the opportunity to be here tonight and with all of you. And I wish you all the best in your forever journey. Thank you.
Oh, you've had us all feeling, you've taken us all on an incredible journey tonight. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for sharing your time with us. And thank you for those incredibly kind and emotional words at the end. You know, I think we are on a mission, Steve. I think you're on a mission. I think anybody who gets involved in Forever is on a mission to make a difference, you know, to contribute into other people's lives, whether it be through the product, helping people enjoy better health, or whether it be through the opportunity, knowing through our own successes and failures that we can make a difference for those who are ready to tread a different path. And I think we've all enjoyed the opportunity that we have, and it's all been down to Rex, really, hasn't it? You know, his vision all those years ago. There's been some incredible messages and feedback, and I don't know if you can see them all, but everybody's totally loved listening to you. I mean, it's just message upon message upon message of just, you know, thank you for the information, for the simplicity, for making it real, for making it believable and manageable to understand and comprehend. And I think, you know, I've just written about 6 pages of notes. I've heard you speak so many times, but I've taken note upon note upon note. Couple of questions that have just come up. One of the questions was about the vitamin C. And about, you know, vitamin C, we all know is a real crucial vitamin to be taking every single day. You simplified the fact why we need it, the slow release oatmeal, etc. One of the messages said, how many should we be taking a day? Because a lot of people say you need to be taking thousands of milligrams a day, and other people say you need to be taking less a day. What's your take on this?
Well, it's everyone is unique, and I don't want to speak for everyone because everybody's body is different, but I'll stick to my original comment that I gave at the very beginning, which is follow the recommended dosage on the labels. That's I know that's somewhat conservative, and I know that's not necessarily what people want to hear. A lot of people want to take more, and that's up to them. I would consult with your physician. If you want to take more than what's on the label, consult with the physician and discuss it. I don't want to speak for anybody else, but I'd follow the recommendation on the label.
Okay, and another question we had asked was, is it best to take our nutritional supplements in the morning or the evening, or spread them out during the day?
It's a great question. You know, I did another one of these one time, and somebody got after me and says, oh, you can't take probiotic in the morning, and you can't do it here, and you can only take it this time and this time and this time. Let me tell you what the doctors have told me. And what I've heard time and time again about the experts on this. It's not as important of when you take it, although it can help optimize certain things. For instance, calcium and magnesium, doing those at night. For instance, the CalMag product, doing those at night. Your body's repairing and so forth. That's really helpful. But a lot of these nutritional products you can't take at night because of the reality that it energizes you and it makes you so you can't sleep. So with the exception of calcium, magnesium, for instance, and so forth, the most important thing you can do is making sure that you take it on a consistent basis. I take the majority of my supplements in the morning with my breakfast, and then I take only a handful at night. And so that's kind of how I do it. Now, I've talked to several people who cannot stomach supplements in the morning, and they spread it out throughout the entire day. There's no wrong way to do it. There can be some interactions depending on the types of products you take. Like, for instance, Forever Fiber. If you take Forever Fiber, you want to be careful what you take with that, for instance, because it'll potentially take some of the water-soluble nutrients out. So you want to be careful with Forever Fiber. But without very rare exceptions like that, you can wherever you want in the day. I thought about putting together a recommendation in terms of when the optimal time is to take products every single day. And every doctor I talked to said, you start doing that and people will start to parse it out, and they'll miss the morning, but they'll get the noon, and then they'll miss the night, or, you know, some version of that. He says it's much better to get the benefits on a consistent basis.
Yeah, fantastic answer. I mean, so many questions that we could ask, but we've taken up a huge amount of your time, and I know that you are in massive demand with some of the key leaders that you're working with within the nutrition and medical world. And I know that tonight you simplified everything for us, but I know just how at the cutting edge of nutrition and science you are working at on a day-by-day basis. And I just want to say thank you for giving up your time. I want to say thank you for your input. As soon as we can travel, trust me, either you're coming here or we're coming over there, but we need to sit and chew the fat together again. It's been way too long.
I agree.
So on behalf of myself and the entire team that have been watching from all around the world, literally, I mean, if you could see these messages, they're coming in from everywhere around the world. It's been a truly global audience of forever business owners and some new people taking a look at our products for the first time tonight. And I know that you will have helped them get a greater understanding of the products that we use. So just want to say thank you massively. And thanks, Diana, for, if you want to just come and say hi to Diana. She's been a great asset in helping all the technical side of things. Let's just take a quick screen grab there. And just to say, brilliant, thank you, good night, everybody. Have a great rest of the evening, have a great rest of the week and a great weekend. But most importantly, stay well, stay healthy, and be happy. Thank you very much indeed. Bye, guys.